I consider my coming out story the year I was caught stealing gay porn. Hi, I'm Jesse Tyler Ferguson, and I am a gay man. The incident with the porn, I was a freshman in high school when that happened. I went into a Hastings book in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I would occasionally, slip in a gay magazine into a reputable publication, and then I would slip it under my shirt and I would exit the store. One year I tried a new store and apparently their metal detectors were reset. So as I left, the alarm system went off, and one of the people came over to me and asked if I had anything, and I said no, and they asked me again, and then I sort of shamefully showed them the magazines under my shirt, and they took me into a back room, and I was held there, and then a police officer came and arrested me. My mom and dad had to come to the store, and they showed them the nature of the material that I was stealing, and that's sort of how I came out, which I find funny now in retrospect, but at the time it was incredibly traumatizing, and especially hearing, I will always remember that phrase, the nature of the material I was stealing, and it felt so dirty, and then to have, a person of the law actually say, this is a shameful thing that you've done, was really traumatizing. And ironically though, my father still had a hard time catching up to that. I think he thought I was smart. I snuck in some, straight porn in there too, so that just threw him off just enough. But he still had to kind of come to his own acceptance of that, and he had a hard time sort of accepting my sexuality, and I think I came out to him 3 times. I consider the first time the time that I stole the magazine, and then the second time my mom was talking to my father and talking about how I was gay and sort of reconfirming with him and sort of making it official, and my mom did that for me because I was afraid to talk to him. And then a third time he asked me, after I had been away at school for a little while, he asked me if I had a girlfriend. And I was like, Dad, why are you, I'm gay. And he's, oh, your mother said something about that. I was like, yeah, and also I stole the gay porn. But with my parents, it definitely, it was a speed bump. They wanted my life to be easy, as every parent wants their child to have an easy life. And they were just scared that I was making things more difficult for myself. I was definitely stunted when I was closeted. When I personally made peace with being gay, it shifted a lot of things within me. I think emotionally, it opened up doors, for the possibility to love someone and the possibility to artistically move forward. I'm proud of the work that I'm doing on Modern Family. I have all these, both Eric Stone Street, and I have a lot of people who come up to us and say, thank you so much for sort of creating a pop culture touchstone that we can refer to when we're talking about, my son's sexuality, or kids are saying, help me come out to my parents because I was able to say I'm more of a Mitch than a Cam.
When we first met, he wouldn't even look at me because I was a hick from the farm in Missouri and he's a big city mouse.
Who says city mouse?
Country mice.
When I first came out, I never, even though I knew it was a possibility, I never imagined marriage for myself. I never imagined having that long-term commitment called marriage. And I'm now married, and I'm very happily married, and I love my husband. Ironically, I then found myself with Justin starting this foundation called Tie the Knot, and our main objective when we started the foundation 5.5 years ago was to gain full federal marriage equality. So we sold these bow ties, and all the proceeds from these bow ties went to all the organizations that were in the trenches fighting for marriage equality. 5 years later, we've raised over $1 million. We now have full federal marriage equality, which we're super excited about. And my father, who had such a hard time accepting my sexuality, danced at my wedding very happily. So I think for my father, that process and that growth is human nature, and it's what he had to go through. And I think that process was really beautiful, and I'm really happy that we're on the other side of it now. In this photo, I'm in my bedroom. I think I'm 17-ish, and I would like to tell this boy who was so insecure and was so worried about what other people thought about him that it's okay to be different. Because I feel like when we're this age, we want to disappear and we want to fit in, but then when we become older, you want to separate yourself, you want to stand out, you want to be that person that everyone's excited about when they walk in the room. And this kid already had that because he is different. I mean, he's standing in front of a Les Miserables sign. He has Cats posters. He has a Beauty and the Beast poster. He has music stand wallpaper. He has a great fashion sense. He is himself. He's got a very clear sense of sensibility about himself. And I want him to hold on to that and not worry that thing that sets him apart is a bad thing.